Alright, what's going on, guys? This is day 16 of the free trading course. I think this actually might be the last day, I'm not sure. But this is going to be take profits and stop losses. How you can set or good risk management. So putting this all together, part 5, this is the execution part. So we have our third confluence that gets filled, then we enter the trade, and then we're probably like, okay, well, where do I set my stop loss and where do I set my take profit? I'll go over that in this video. So we got to remember our key levels before we started, which was we marked our key levels in the hourly time frame and such. We can use those key levels as our take profits. We can also use them as stop losses if they're close enough. Sometimes they're way far out and you don't want to set your stop loss like to $1 million stop loss. Yeah, you don't want to do that. So I'll teach you guys how you can set your stop loss and have a safe one. So stop losses, just to get a quick overview of what stop losses are, they're just something that you can set to where if the market goes to a certain point, it just stops you out, stops your position, that way you don't lose too much money. Same thing with take profits. They're the same thing, but for when you make money. So there are limits in the market to where a point where the market gets, and then it will stop your position, take you out of there. So that way it doesn't just go all the way up to $100 and then go back down to zero because you didn't set a take profit. All right, and then also I'll go over how points work in the market, and that's because I go by points, not money. I don't really trade by using money. Usually people, like when they trade, they set their take profits or whatever, and they show you this, and then it's like $500 or something. I go by the points, so 10.50, 5 points, or whatever you want to call it. So let's do that. So this was actually yesterday's trade review I was doing. Let me just go back to here. All right. So the ways that I go with take profits and stop losses. Yesterday we went and had a liquidity sweep. So, okay, let me just start from zero. So we marked out our key levels in the 15-minute time frame. These were all of our key levels. Once it actually swept before market open, so that's a good sign as well. So we swept here, go to the 5-minute time frame after we get our liquidity sweep. We wait for our break of structure, which happened right here at this green candle, closed right above that green high. So then we go to the 1-minute time frame. As you can see, our fair value gap is right there. Mark it out. Goes here. The market starts to go down as well, so we can also mark out equilibrium. As you can see, it actually goes deep into our equilibrium and fair value gap. So we can enter our long position here, somewhere around there. So for me, you can either have your stop loss at the edge of your equilibrium box, not exactly at the edge, but a little bit lower than the equilibrium. You can have it a little bit lower than this liquidity over here, or you can have it lower than this liquidity all the way over here. You don't want to always have it exactly at the liquidity, because if you have it exactly there, who knows, it might go down, liquidity sweep in, keep going in your same direction. That's why we want to have it a little bit below that liquidity. That way, if it does come down to liquidity sweep and then it goes back up in your favor, you're not stopped out. For me, I have a 10-point stop loss, and it's fixed every time. It's always going to be 10 points for me. It's just the way that I trade. And for take profits, if we scale out, you can see those key points that we marked out earlier. This could also be a key point. You can set your take profits all the way at your key points, or you can have a fixed take profit like 15 points, 10 points, which is a 1-to-1. Or if you want to, like I said in the slides here, you can have a risk to reward, which is right here, 1-to-1, 1-to-2, 1-to-3. And what that really means is just whatever your stop loss is, you look at that number right there, it says 1, you see the big 1 here, that's a 1-to-1. So if you go to 20 points, that's going to be a 1-to-2 risk to reward. Right here, so now that number is 2 right here in the middle, where my cursor is. So that would be 2. If you want to play it safe, you see how there's actually like no good draws on liquidity, because all these ones are all the way up here, and obviously you don't want to freaking hunt all the way up here. So I would say either a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-2. would be good. 1.5, whatever you feel like it. Anything that's above a 1-to-1, I think is pretty good. So I like to have it all the way up here though. Let's see what happens in this trade. Okay, so in this example, I actually won. So that's good. That's 27 points. With the way that I trade with 5 micros. So 25 times 27.75, which is how many points that was. That would have been 693 bucks for me. This would have been that. So yeah, that's everything about stop losses and take profits. If you guys have any questions on how it works, definitely let me know, and I'll be more than happy to assist you on any questions that you might have. I look forward to the next one, guys.